Good morning, Asphalt Life community and our AtlasPro contractors. So glad that you decided to join us today for today's Wednesday weekly webinar. And I'm really excited because we get to talk about marketing. Yay! And I get to talk to one of my favorite people. Joe Hughes is on with us today from Contractor Dynamics. What's up, Joe?
Hey, I love the energy, Tiara. Really excited to be here. So yeah, we've got a lot planned for today. Looking forward to it.
That is such a true statement. And, I don't get to talk about things that like marketing with other marketers in the industry often. So I'm super excited to talk about some really important topics that are applicable now. Things are opening up, people are feeling a little bit more freedom. How do you get these leads in? What does inbound opportunities look like, specifically on something that we're all turning our attention to, which is social media, right? And so I know that you have a power packed hour of power, I'll call it, for us today. So I'm psyched. Yeah. And welcome to all of our contractors that are on. I see you guys jumping in, lots of people in the queue. Pop something in the chat. Tell us good morning. Let us know you can hear us and see us. Um, I told Joe I got my quarantine hair going. It's just wild as I am today. I'm wildly excited about marketing, talking about marketing. Hey, Charles. Good morning. Alicia is on. Andrew is on. Dustin, good morning. Hey, Nick. Nick says he can hear us loud and clear. I love it. Am I screaming? I think I'm that excited, Joe. I think I'm screaming at the camera. Good morning, Caleb. Hey, Liz. Caprice. Good morning from Cypress Roofing in Louisiana. How is the weather out there in Louisiana? Brad Bellamy, you're already getting shout outs. Brad Bellamy says Joe is a social media expert. So true.
Ooh.
Klein is on. I'm ready and excited to talk about marketing too. Lafayette Roofing's in the house. Good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone. Glad that you are on. Darren says, I'm excited too. Thank you, Darren, for sharing that camaraderie with me. I haven't seen a lot of you guys in a long time. So this is our spot to meet. And just to give you guys a heads up, June is power packed. So you do not want to miss our June webinar series. We're going to continue this series as an ongoing thing. We want to continue to get in front of you to offer consistent training as we've always done. And so I'm excited to continue to bring top highlights, top topics. And you guys, let us know in the chat if you have topics that you're burning. You're like, Tiara, you got to get this on the schedule. Let us know because those are the type of things we want to hear. Our teammate Claudette is on right now, and she always takes time to put out a survey that you get right after this webinar. Within 24 hours of this going out, you actually get a video of our mugs and the slides from the presentation, but also a link to a survey. So important. Check out the survey. Be sure to chime in. Let us know what's going on. Caprice says it's beautiful. It's sunny. Darren says they're hot down there and is looking really good in KC from Duke Maddox. So awesome. Glad that you guys are on. So I'll go ahead and get started today. We wanted to jump into today's webinar with a couple of slides. But let's talk about, agenda is perfect, Joe. Thank you. Let's jump into today's agenda. So first things first, how are your customers making buying decisions? Such an important topic when you're analyzing what the decisions and that you're going to make in terms of your marketing spend. How are people spending their money? How are they making those strategic decisions? Then we'll talk about marketing strategy, building relationships with people in all stages of the buying cycle. So I say it all the time. I know people, hopefully you're not getting sick of me saying this, but your relationship with your customer doesn't just stop once you've gotten the sale or signed the contract. It continues, and that's something that you definitely want to be aware of. We'll jump into some content strategy with Joe, and then the funnel strategy, creating a machine that automatically sifts, sorts, and screens your audience and produces hot Buyers. I like that word, Joe. Hot buyers, not just buyers.
Yeah, people that want to do business with you, that are looking to work with you and not just any roofing company in your market. That's what we're after.
I love it. I love it. Hey, Florian, good morning. Thanks for joining. Awesome. Well, I know there's a couple more people jumping into the webinar today. I see some people waiting in the queue to jump in. So get in here. And we are about to get started. But first, let's launch a poll. We want to know, who are you that's on here? Um, what are you looking for today? And so we're just going to start off with a hot poll. And so you should see on your screen, who are you? Are you an owner of your business? Are you a salesperson? So give me a yes if you're making those decisions. Give me a no if you're not making those decisions. Let us know kind of what that split is, and so we can kind of know how to prepare this webinar for today. I love it, Joe. We get to start off with a poll.
Yeah,
And
I like this one because whether you're an owner on here or you're not an owner, like, these strategies apply to anyone, and it should be a collaborative effort in terms of getting the marketing done. So this will
love
help
it.
us navigate our presentation today.
Awesome. And just to share those results, we have 52% of our audience that voted are actually owners that are on this call. The making those buying decisions, those purchasing decisions as it relates to their marketing spend. And then another 48% are not. So right down the middle. Awesome. Thank you guys for um, participating in that. And guess what? We got a lot more polls coming at you today. Just want to keep you guys engaged as always, and want to make sure that we're answering your questions. So do a couple things. Fasten your seatbelts. This is going to be an awesome power-packed webinar the next hour with Joe. Let me introduce Joe formally. I feel like our audience already knows you, Joe, because we talk about you so much. But Joe is the owner of Contractor Dynamics. Joe, how long have you been in roofing? I know you grew up in the industry.
Yeah, I grew up in my family's commercial construction business that is actually 126 years old this year.
That's all.
So a sixth generation family member. I'm sure we have some family businesses here on the webinar today. So commercial construction, a little bit different from roofing, but I started out when I was 14 and grew up in the industry, and I started Contractor Dynamics in 2012. So it's been almost 8 years. It'll be 8 years in July, actually. So yeah, we've been focused on this for quite some time.
Yeah. Now tell me about this photo on the screen. Who are these people with you?
Just a stock photo. No, I'm kidding. This is at Win the Storm out in Phoenix in February, I guess. We had a little
Mhm.
rooftop happy hour with some of our clients, and we just got a group picture here. So this is a picture that we use on our website. We've got several clients from different parts of the country here. So yeah, it's always
Yeah.
good to. I know we both miss those days of meeting at conferences and workshops and things like that, but hopefully we'll get back to those sooner than later.
Yeah. Yeah, staying safe out there, everybody. I know you guys are staying safe and keeping your staff and employees safe as you navigate what these waters look like. But Joe, tell us a little bit about your mission and passion, because I've heard you speak multiple times, and one thing I can say about you, passion emanates out of your talks. You know, you are just passionate about helping people to figure out marketing. And I know you kind of navigated various waters in cultivating contractor dynamics, but talk a little bit about that before we jump into today's webinar.
Yeah, sure. I love what we do. This is all we do all day, every day. We are a marketing training company, so we do not actually run ads for our clients. We train roofing companies on how to do what I'm about to get into today. So the reason that we do that, after 7 years or 6 or 7 years of running the agency where we actually ran ads for our clients, we transitioned into the training model because it's crucial these days for any company to have that marketing DNA and that marketing system like built out in-house.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go out and use an external agency or a marketing guy or something like that to help you out, to like kind of pour fuel on that fire and help you out with those technical things, then great. But now in 2020, it's not it doesn't work anymore where you're like, you know what, I'm too busy. I don't want to figure out this marketing thing. I just want to pay someone else to make my phone ring. Like
Yeah.
that used to work even a few years ago. That worked really well. But these days there's so many roofing companies out there. There's so much noise out there on social media. We're hit with thousands of marketing messages every day. And to really succeed with marketing and to build a brand and build a recognizable company in your market, you've got to be doing some of this stuff in-house, at least a part of it. So
Yeah.
that's why we believe so much in this model where, you know, you're learning these things today. Hopefully you're going back with your team and implementing some of these things. Hopefully you're doing them consistently. So yeah, we love education. I don't know if it's in my blood. My mother was a teacher,
Nice.
but I love it, and I love yeah, I love that you can create leverage, right? You can grow beyond yourself. As we start businesses, it's all hustle and grind for the first couple of years, and then we have to figure out a way to kind of grow beyond ourselves or, you know, our small team. And
Mhm.
marketing can create that leverage to build an amazing business and to build a great life as well. So that's kind of, you know, a little bit of a background on what drives us.
Great, great, great. Well, I don't want to take up time talking. I'm going to pass it off to you and looking forward to today's webinar.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, we have another poll. Do you want to run this one?
I will. So launching
All right.
that one now.
Have you run social media ads before? So I know a lot of people when we talk with prospects or new clients, they're like, yeah, I tried Facebook ads, like it didn't work. And most of the time it comes down to like they're boosting posts, and Facebook makes it super easy for us to do that and spend money. Have you been an ads manager in Facebook and run ads before yourself or in your company?
Yep. And the responses are coming in. We have about half of you that have voted. Everybody jump in and let us know if you have actually ran ads in social media, which has evolved, right? I think at first people were just hitting the boost button, what, 6 years ago, and now there's a whole platform for ad management that you really need to be aware of and engaged in.
For sure, yeah, and I'm going to dive into that a little bit. I'm not going to get too technical, so if you don't have any experience with that, don't worry. I'm not going to overwhelm you. You're going to understand the strategies either way. So,
Awesome. About 62% said yes, ready to learn more. No one said yes, I feel like I'm a pro, Joe, though. And 38% said no, but they're really open to running ads on social.
okay, wow, 62%. I'm impressed. That's awesome. All right. Well, I don't think anyone's a pro. There, it's always changing and it's always evolving. So you've got to stay on top of it. And marketing is testing, right? We're gonna go through a bunch of best practices. I'm gonna share examples, live examples, what roofing companies are doing right now today. So we want to follow best practices, but marketing is testing, and we've got to be putting things out there and understanding why they work and also why they don't work, so we can go then go back and make adjustments. So really cool to hear that. We're going to be talking mostly about social media today. That's what we focus on, and that's where the big opportunity is. It's a part of online marketing. So we're going to focus really a ton on that today. I like to start out with a 3% rule. And this is an approximation. At any given time in any market, approximately 3% of your market is ready to buy and the rest are not. So if you've ever sat down and thought about this in whatever market you're in, how many people in your market are going to replace the roof? And the answer is all of them. You know, maybe not this month or this season or this year, maybe even the next 5 years, but at some point, all the roofs in your market, in your local area, are going to be replaced. Only a very small percentage of people, like 3%, are actually active buyers. Like they know they have a problem, they know they need to take action, and they're actively looking for a solution. Below that 3%, we have about 7%, give or take, that are intending to change. So these are people that might understand that they have damage from a storm, that have an older roof, that they have an ugly roof, maybe it's had some leaks, and they've been, putting some patches on it or tarps or whatnot. They're intending to change, and for whatever reason, they're just not actively seeking a solution right now. But if they were presented with a solution, which I'll get to, maybe financing or some other attractive offer, they might take action. So above this horizontal line here, we have like 10% of your market, of any market, who might be potential buyers like within the next, say, 30 to 60 or 90 days. Below that, we've got 90% of people in any given market that might have a need but are not ready to act for whatever reason. Maybe they're busy, maybe they're waiting for their, to get the finances in order, maybe they're just, they're different life situations, they're not ready. There's going to be people that do not have a need right now, or just have a new roof and they're not going to have a need for a while. So we want to focus today, and in our businesses, we want to focus on distributing content, like Tiara said, to people at in all places in the market, at all levels of their buying decision, whether they're ready to buy today, whether they're ready to buy within the next 90 days, or whether they might be a customer in 2 years or 5 years. Most roofing companies are focused only on that tippy top of the pyramid, that 3% of active buyers who might be ready to buy a roof today, get an inspection, get an estimate, sign a contract, get a quote, call us, contact us. You have most roofing companies in any market focus on that tiny little sliver of 3%. And what happens is you end up, if you're only targeting those 3% of people, you end up competing for a very small piece of the pie. Whereas the big opportunity is to market to this whole triangle, to the whole market, to build your brand and to get people to elevate from the bottom of that triangle as they elevate up into the top, where they're going to see your offers. So we're going to come back to this 3% rule in a little bit, but I like to show this visualization at the beginning. As I mentioned, we have most roofing companies targeting that 3%. And what companies are doing, we see this, all the time. We work with companies in over 40 states right now, and we see most companies are just targeting those people that are ready to do business today. And like I said, for any given reason, that's only a very small percentage of the market. And when you have people that are going out hunting for buyers today, then you end up with high pressure marketing and sales tactics. You end up looking and sounding like any other roofing company in your market. And when you look and sound like every other roofing company, then you're vulnerable to being price shopped, to losing out on jobs, to chucking a truck who just started out last month and has no idea what he's doing, and who's not going to serve the property owner, the client, the way that they deserve to be served. So this is where you end up with a lot of frustration. What we want to focus on today, and hopefully moving forward in our businesses, is this concept of farming, right? Of planting seeds all year long so you can harvest whenever you want. Use the analogy of the real estate industry. Realtors realized this decades ago, that they could not just wake up on any given, say, Wednesday, and wake up and say, you know what, I got to go out and find someone who's ready to buy or sell a house today because I need to make some money, I need to close a deal, I need to grow my business, I need to feed my family. If they operated that way, then they would not be in business very long, right? So realtors realized like decades ago that they need to be farming their market. They're doing networking events, they're building relationships, they're putting content out on social media, they're doing direct mail, open houses, they're doing all these different things all year long, the good ones anyway. And so when someone does need to buy or sell a house, they know who they're going to go to. Like there's a top of mind realtor in that local area. So think about that as we go through this hour today, and as you move forward into marketing your business, whether you're in the northern states like Minnesota, or Boston or Massachusetts, and you're not roofing 12 months a year, you can still be farming 12 months a year, whether it's for building your brand to attract top quality talent, for getting people to know you, sharing some other content. I'm going to show you some examples of that. But planting those seeds 12 months a year, because you never know when someone's going to be ready. Buying behavior has shifted over the past several years. This is actually from several years ago, from 2011, from a Google study. On average, 70% of the buying decision is made online before someone contacts a business the first time. So I just got done saying that you don't know when people are going to be ready. Nowadays, we're on our phones, we're doing our research, we're looking at reviews, we're looking at testimonials, we're researching different companies and products, and we're going to do most of that research before we ever reach out to a company. So what are people doing when they're looking for a roofing contractor? Are you showing up? Are you showing up on their phones? Do you have your web presence dialed in? All those things matter way more than you think. And people are doing that research mostly on their phones. The average American adult spends over 4 hours every day on their smartphone, according to Inc. magazine. And half of that time is spent on the major social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You might be thinking, well, 4 hours a day, that's amateur hour. I'm on 4 hours a day by noon, right? But this is the average. So it might be more, you might be less, but the fact is that we're all spending a lot of time and attention, right here on this device on our phones. And that's probably the reason why most of us are here today, is from social media, from connecting, either connecting at a conference and then continuing to engage on social media, or just finding Atlas Roofing or finding Contractor Dynamics or some other piece of content out there. So we need to be out there while people are doing the research, while they're making their decisions, not just when they're ready to pull the trigger. So remember the graph with the pyramid that we just went through. We want to put our content out there, but we don't just want to put our content out there to that 3%. We want to put our content out there to engage with people in this entire triangle. If you go after the 3%, you might end up like this guy, this frustrated guy here, who's like, you know what? I tried it, it didn't work. And we see this all the time, and you've probably seen it out there in your market. Maybe you've even tried it. You know, I'm guilty of having done this before myself in our market. It's putting out a bottom of the funnel ad. We'll get to funnel in a little bit, but putting out a bottom of the funnel ad, which means get an inspection, get an estimate, contact us today, call us today, like that sort of thing, like asking someone to take action to get an estimate. Serve to people on social media who are not looking for your services, who in most cases don't even know that they have a problem that needs to be solved and have never heard of you. And this is the number one reason why most social media advertising in the roofing industry, or really in general, does not work. Think about it this way. When we're on Google, when we're searching for something on Google, it might be a roofing contractor. I'm actually looking for a driveway seal coating guy locally here right now. No one's returning my call. I guess it's busy season. So I'm on Google, like searching, like I have, I know I have a problem. I know I need my driveway seal coated. Like I have intent to find someone. So that's great. If you can show up in Google, you have a great landing page, a well-optimized website that's going to build trust and convert visitors into leads. That's amazing. That's a great place to be. On social media, we're not on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn searching for businesses, searching for products or services. So we don't have what's called intent. So when you're putting out ads or any sort of content that's like free inspection, free estimate, this or that, people are not looking for your services, and they haven't heard of you before. They don't know you. So there's a huge disconnect there. So I really want to illustrate that contrast between search, which is Google, and social, which is like Facebook and Instagram, which is what we're talking about today. So we've got to create that awareness first. That's a big part of our content. As we dive into these content examples, we've got to create that awareness before we put out our offers or ask people to contact us. So the solution, I just said it. You want to be this happy guy, this is what you got to do. We're going to get into some content now. We are going to map out some of our content to attract people that are cold, who have never heard of us, to create awareness. We're going to put out content to people that are warm, who know us and might be interested in our services. And we certainly want to put out content to people that are hot, who are ready to do business today, who have already done business with us. We don't just want to blast out a bunch of content to everyone and hope that we get lucky and the 3% of people that are ready to do business today happen to see our content and happen to click on it and then become a lead. You might get lucky, but that's not a good strategy. So We want to be able to create and distribute content that targets people at different stages of their buying process, whether they're ready this weekend or next month or next year. So we're going to do a poll, Tiara, if you want to run this. I want to know, because I'm going to encourage all of you to do this and get out of your comfort zone. Have you shared video content before? And I don't mean sharing one of Atlas's videos or maybe one of my videos, but have you gotten on camera and actually put your video out there on social media?
Awesome. I just launched that poll, so go ahead and populate that. Have you shared? Yes, I love getting in front of the camera. Or yeah, by force. you're being told to share. Or no, and please don't make me. Which category are you in? This is a fun one, Joe. And the votes are coming in. Go ahead and vote if you haven't voted. We'll close the poll in about 10 seconds. I feel like I would be in the, originally, I would say a couple of years ago, I was probably like, oh, okay. Now I'm like, yeah, let's do a video. It gets better as you keep doing it. I'll say that.
Oh yeah.
Right? All
We
right.
all stink when we start.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So about 45% of the audience says, yes, I love getting in front of the camera, which is awesome.
Wow.
About 26 say, yeah, but by force. And then there's a 29% that says, no, and please don't make me, Joe. Do not sell me on in front of the camera.
All right. Are we allowed to assign homework?
Yeah, I love it.
That might be the homework, is to do a video.
And tag Joe, tag Atlas on your video.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And hey, the good news is, if you're obviously you're listening to me, so you are on this webinar, it doesn't have to be you, right? Whether you're an owner or you're maybe a spouse or a marketing manager, or office admin person, sales manager, you might be thinking, well, I don't want to be the person that's the face of the company, and that's fine. Usually there's someone in a company, there's always someone in the company that kind of secretly wants to be a social media star. So get that person to be the face of the company. I would say probably about half of our clients, the owner is not the face of the business, like on social media. I would 20% of our clients, you wouldn't even know the owner at all. They're kind of behind the scenes. So don't don't think it has to be you. It's actually ideal if it is kind of a collaboration among your team. So very cool. We're going to encourage you to get on video, and I'll show you why. All right, so we're going to go through these three audiences. We're going to go through cold, we're going to go through warm, and we're going to go through hot. The structure I have here is I'm going to go through the definition of what it is. I'm going to go through like what the goals are, because every piece of content should have an objective. We should think about that before we hit record and put ourselves out there. And then I think most valuably, I'm going to share examples of what our clients and friends in the industry are doing right now as far as content. So this will give you some ideas that you can take back to your team, and you can say, all right, I like this idea. This fits with our vision. This fits with our company, our style, our culture. I want to implement some of these ideas. So let's get into this. Cold audience is people have never heard of your business, which is most people in your market, regardless of how big you are, right? People who are not aware that they have a problem. This is a big one on social media. Again, people that are not aware that the roof might be 20 years old, or that if they let it go too long, that it can cause further issues inside their home that can be much more expensive and much more of a pain. Or people who are not aware that they might have been affected by a storm either last week, last month, or last year. There might be people that have a problem but are not yet active buyers. Like, yeah, and I know I need to take care of my roof and get that done. Like, my wife is nagging me, but I'm not, I'm just too busy, or I'm waiting until we get our tax refund, or, whatever the situation is. And then there's active buyers who are actually like ready to make a decision, who just don't know who you are. So these are all people that would fall into this cold audience category. Our objective here is to introduce them to our brand. Our objective is not to pitch them on our services because they don't know who we are and most of them aren't looking for our services. So what we want to do here with this type of content is introduce them to our brand and establish credibility. Most marketing should be about your audience, about your market, not about you. But this is a time where you can show people who you are in terms of why they might care, right? Like we've been in the local market for 20 years or 5 years or whatever it is, and we love serving our local market. Don't just talk about how great you are, but talk about how you love being a part of your community. And I'll show you examples of that in a minute. Add value by providing education and knowledge. So we call this consumer awareness content. So this is helping people in your market make intelligent decisions, whether they go with you or not. So like, here's how to evaluate roofing contractors. Here's how to make a decision. Here's what a roof costs. Here's some of your different options for financing. It's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm providing education and knowledge for you to make intelligent decisions about marketing your roofing company, whether we end up talking again or working together or not. Getting them to engage with your content. This is a big one. Getting people to actually watch your video or click on it or go to your website. We're going to track them with our Facebook pixel. I'll get into this at the end, some of the technical aspects of this. And like I said at the beginning, learning what people respond to. We might think we have the most amazing video or the most amazing piece of content, and we put it out there and we run this campaign and it just doesn't perform. Like no one responds. We don't get any leads. That happens. It actually happened to us last month. We thought we had an amazing campaign going on with one of our client testimonial videos, and it didn't work quite the way we expected it to. So we had to make tweaks. So your content, your cold audience content, it serves a purpose to let you know what people care about, because the data will tell you what people care about. So here are a couple of examples of, like I said, these are our clients and friends throughout the industry that are putting out this type of content. D&M Roofing in Omaha and Des Moines, Iowa. They have a brand video that they had done by a local video company, really well done. You can go to their Facebook page and check it out. It's probably at the top. Really well done. You don't have to have a professional video done. It can be, just a casual video introducing your team and your company to your local market. Notice it's not like we are amazing, we're the best. It's talking about how they love being part of the community, love how they're building a great team, and they're sharing their story, getting people to know them. Another example, Valentine Roofing out in the Seattle area. This is educational content. So this is, we have crunched the numbers and we understand that financing is very important to you as homeowner in the area. So we've actually put together a blog post on our website that you can go check out to learn about some different ways that you can pay for your roof replacement. This is especially relevant right now as we're in this whole kind of pandemic situation where even if people have the money, they might want to hold on to it a little bit more and maybe opt to finance that roof replacement. Even if they do have the cash to lay out, they want to hold on to that. So financing is something that was already on trend before this whole thing happened, and it's even more important right now. So this is an excellent example from Valentine Roofing, who, by the way, has an amazing website that really shows off their culture and their team. So check that out as well. ASAP Roofing in Texas and beyond, they are showing that they are a part of the community. And I'm guessing a lot of you here are doing things that are charitable, teaming up with local businesses. Maybe you're doing like giving a roof replacement to a veteran or a first responder in your area or something like that. A lot of you are part of your community, and there's no shame in showing that on social media, because that helps to bring everyone together and helps to kind of further your cause. So if you're doing these things already, show them on social media and do some videos to show that, hey, we are a part of our community. We care about our community. These are great ways to build brand awareness for yourself, and also to, again, spread the word on whatever kind of community involvement that you're into. So these are just a few examples of some cold audience building. We do want to focus on videos, which I'll get to in a little bit, because we can then go back and retarget people who have engaged with our videos, who have watched a few seconds of our videos. Images are fine too. We can get people to click on those and whatnot, but we definitely want to add videos into the mix as well. Getting into a warm audience would be people that are already familiar with our company, our brand, or our services. So maybe you're familiar with Atlas, but you're not yet a customer of Atlas. You don't yet buy their products, but you are familiar with them. People who have been to your website, so people are checking you out online, doing the research, maybe checking out, your team and what you look like and what people are saying about you. People who engage with your video content or any of your content on social media. Also people who have given you their contact info in exchange for a lead magnet. So a lead magnet, for those of you who aren't aware, is something that you would give to someone in your market in exchange for their information, their email, their name, their phone number, their contact info. So this might be, I know that Atlas has their web injector tools where you can have your homeowners visualize their home with different products on it, different shingles and whatnot. It might be a roof cost calculator. It might be like a financing calculator where you're bringing people to your website and you have a little calculator there so they can calculate a monthly payment, and they're going to opt in. They're going to give you their contact information to be able to access that. So people that have given you their contact info for something like that. Or maybe you have a guide, like a consumer awareness guide that is 12 ways or 6 ways to make sure that you're hiring the best roofing company, or to know when you need a roof replacement or something like that. And then also past clients and prospects. This is a huge opportunity for everyone, for all of us, regardless of any business, is staying in front of people that we've already done business with, or who might have become a prospect, a lead last year, and for whatever reason did not end up becoming a client, which happens all the time. We don't want to do all this work and put in all this effort and get out of our comfort zone and get on video and maybe spend some money on ads only to ignore people if they're not ready to give us money today. We want to stay in front of them because they might not be ready today, but they might be ready a year from now. And this happens all the time if you're able to nurture your audience. So that's the definition of a warm audience. Our goals here are pretty simple. We want to deepen their interest. So they've demonstrated some interest in our content or in our company. So we want to deepen that and get them even more interested in us, get them more excited about working with us as opposed to any other roofing company in our market. We want to create demand. So marketing, the goal of marketing is to create demand, is to get someone to raise their hand and say, hey, I want to do business with you guys, or I want to talk to you guys. I want you guys to come out and look at my property. And of course, generate leads. So deepen interest, create that demand, generate those leads. That's what the warm audience building is all about. So here are some examples. Ridgecap down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, showing a video testimonial of this gentleman. Now, video testimonials are really powerful. They are best used in this situation where you're serving them to an audience of people that have already demonstrated some level of interest in your company. If you put out a video testimonial as an ad to like a cold audience, again, most people are not in the market for a roof. Most people don't know who you are. So this is not really going to connect that well. Candidly, this is actually what happened to us last month, where we had this great video testimonial from one of our clients, and we ran that. We were so excited about it, and we ran that as an ad to a cold audience of roofing companies, and it did okay, but it wasn't like the home run that we expected. It was more like a single, like an infield single, if I'm gonna use a baseball analogy. So we've shifted to using video testimonials to only people that have already become familiar with our content. Video testimonials, even if you just have 1 or 2 of them, they could be a tremendous asset for your company for many years. So I really encourage you to do this. More difficult than it sounds, of course, because you're going to ask 10 people to get on video. 2 of them might be okay with it. You might get 1 that's actually decent on video, and then you can go run with that. But if you can think about all of your clients you have right now, or sit down at your sales meeting and think about, like, just kind of identify a few of them that might be comfortable getting on video, this can be a tremendous asset. Blue Nail Roofing here in New Jersey. So I like what they've done here. They're framing up their roof replacement in terms of the monthly payment. We've bought cars like this for years, right? We go out and a lot of us will say, I need a new car. I want my monthly payment to be 300 a month or 500 a month or 150 a month, whatever it is. We're not necessarily thinking about the price of the car, although we should. We're thinking about that monthly payment. And the generation that's kind of coming into homeownership now, the millennial generation, is more geared toward that monthly payment. So these guys framed it in terms of, hey, these homeowners are able to get this. Sorry, TR, this is a GAF roofer, but they were able to get this for $169 a month. So again, you don't want to put this out to you don't want to put this out to a cold audience. I'm getting feedback here. You don't want to put this out to a cold audience because most people don't care. They're not like in the market for a roof. But if you put this out to an audience of people that have already engaged with your content, then this is going to be attractive because they're more likely to be in the market for a roof and they're seeing this offer, they're seeing this possibility. They're like, you know what? I'm going to send them a message. Another example, here we go. We have an Atlas client up there in the Chicago area, Advantex, great guys. So this is a warm audience example. This is one of the owners out there doing a video. They've got the catch-all system there, it looks like. They've got the nice clean job site, and it's a call to action. Hey, there's a storm in the area. This is what we're doing. We're replacing this damaged roof. We're going back with an Atlas Pinnacle Sienna product. And this is a great piece of content for a warm audience. Again, you can put this out on your Facebook page like these guys did, no harm, no foul. But if you're going to run something like this as an ad to thousands of people in your market, again, most people have not heard of you and most people are not looking for a roof. So it's not going to connect as well as if you serve this to a warm audience. So a hot audience, we want those hot buyers, right? Hot audience is kind of a couple different groups of people here. We have people who have requested an appointment. So maybe they've opted in and they've requested an appointment, and for whatever reason, you're just not able to get a hold of them, or they ghost on you, or whatever, you're not able to connect. People who have received an estimate or an inspection, or that you've been out there, you've gone to the appointment, you've done their estimate inspection, maybe you're in that process, but they haven't like pulled the trigger, like it's not a done deal yet. So they're pretty hot, like they're still intending to do something. Maybe they're just busy, maybe they're shopping around, but this is still an opportunity to stay in front of them while they're making that decision. And then current and previous clients. So current clients, okay, you want to stay in front of them because they have an opportunity to refer you, or maybe they have other properties, especially if you're marketing to commercial. Most commercial property owners own more than one commercial property, so it's an opportunity to stay in front of them. It's also an opportunity to let those people know that if they're doing a roof with you, that you may also do windows or siding or doors or gutters or any number of different services. Some of our clients do interior remodeling. So it's an opportunity to let your paying clients know that you also offer these different things. I'm sure a lot of you have been in the situation where you're doing a roof for someone, or you've done a roof for a homeowner, and then you find out like they did their siding the next year and they didn't even call you. Well, there's a good chance maybe they didn't know you did siding. Maybe they just thought you were a roofing company. And then previous clients. So this is a huge opportunity for everyone. Depending on how long you've been in business, you've done hundreds or maybe thousands or maybe even tens of thousands of roofs in your local area over the past X amount of years. Maybe those people are ready for a new roof, another roof. Maybe those people have moved into a new house. Maybe those people are now the decision makers for their elderly parents who need a new roof, or any number of situations. Maybe you've done hundreds of roofs and now you're starting to do windows or landscaping or fencing or something. It's an opportunity to let those people know about the different services that you offer. So your hot audience goals, get them to take action now. So like if they're in your pipeline, you want them to take action now, whether that's a yes or no. You want to get those maybes kind of out of the way. Remind them of your brand and your services. Introduce them to new services and offers that you might have. So maybe you have a bunch of prospects who are in your pipeline, over the winter or last year, and now you're offering financing, you can put content out to those people that might not have been ready to, plunk down a bunch of cash, but who might be a good candidate for financing. And then we can encourage them to refer. So I think Tiara was getting to this at the top of our webinar at the beginning, talking about like once you have that client, like that's when your relationship starts. You want to keep their business, you want to earn their loyalty, you want to get them to review you, you want them to be raving fans where they're telling everyone about you. So not only can we get our email content out in front of them, but we can target those people with social media ads as well. So some examples of this: Aspen Home Improvements in Pennsylvania. So they are actually putting out a piece of content talking about how they did work for this homeowner last year in 2019, and here they are again in 2020 doing some more work for this same homeowner. So this accomplishes a couple things. They're showing that they're in this local area of York, PA. So that's another kind of little tidbit here. Anytime you can drop the town or local area where you're working, even like checking into that location, that's going to help people see that and identify with that and get them to stop scrolling. And they're also letting you know that, hey, they're subtly saying, we did such a great job for this homeowner that they called us again the next year. So those are the types of clients that we're looking for. We're looking for lifetime clients. These guys also in Pennsylvania. So this would be more of a take action now. So maybe it's someone who has been in their pipeline or who has had work done by Bachman's in the past, and they had some recent storms, April showers. Give us a call. We're here. We want to stay top of mind for all of your needs. Maybe you don't need our services. Maybe one of your neighbors had some issues. That happened with us here in New Jersey. We actually had tornadoes a few weeks ago, which never happens here. And there's trees down on houses all over our neighborhood. We were fine, fortunately, but several of our neighbors had a lot of damage. So this type of content gives people the opportunity to refer. Top of mind is tip of tongue. The more top of mind you can be in your market, the more tongues you're going to be on the tip of. There's a lot of T's. I'm glad I got that one out. Another one. Sorry, Tiara, look the other way, please, for now. Pink Panther. But referral programs I know are huge, offering incentives for people, for your clients, or even your prospects or people in your market to refer you. These are becoming increasingly popular, and there's some different software tools that enable you to do this at scale. And we also have home maintenance checklists. So this is an interesting piece of content from Endeavor Exteriors out, and I believe they're in Colorado. Interesting piece of content because this can actually be put out to a cold audience, getting people to engage, providing some value. But this can also be put out to a group of people that have already been clients. This can be an email, something that you email to people seasonally. This can be something that you distribute to people that you've already done business with, saying, hey, we just want to make sure that you're taking these steps. Make sure your home is, beautiful and ready for the upcoming season. So I like this type of content because it's versatile and pretty much, you don't want to copy this, but anyone watching this can come up with something like this, something very simple just to stay top of mind. So just to recap here, we went through cold traffic, we went through warm traffic, we went through hot traffic. So as you can see, there's different types of content you want to put out to people at different stages of their of where they are in that decision-making process. I'm going to get into a few steps on how to put this into action. So take notes. I believe this will be recorded. You might want to go back and watch this again. But I'm going to go through 8 steps to help you put this into action. And again, if you're not technically savvy or if this is like foreign to you, don't worry about it. Just understand the concepts here. So we want to create a system, right? We don't want to be on this hamster wheel of like, oh my gosh, every day I got to wake up and I got to create all this content and figure out who's cold and warm and hot. We can actually create a system that partly automates this for us, so we can maximize our efforts and our budget and get the most out of what we're putting out there. So this is a very, very simple form, this diagram here of what's called retargeting. So I went through our cold audience here, which would be prospects, visitors that might come to our website, or they might view our content, they may watch our video. Most people are not going to become a lead or opt in, no matter how amazing we are. So we want to be able to track them. We want to be able to follow them around. People are going to be on social media. They're going to be on Google. We want to be able to keep our ads, keep our content in front of them. This is something that big companies do, like Amazon, Nike. I just bought a pair of new running sneakers, so I just went through this. I was doing some research. I bought this new brand that I've never bought before called Hoka. So like I had all these sneakers that were like following me around every time I went on Instagram and Facebook. And these big companies do that because they realize that they need to stay in front of you, because they realize that you might not be ready today, but if they stay in front of you with relevant content and offers and images of those cool sneakers, then eventually you might buy. And the cool thing is that that same technology that those big companies use is available to us as smaller businesses. So I'm going to get into that right now. So step one would be just to map your content. So sit down, take an hour, brainstorm, whether it's by yourself, with your team. Think about what types of content would be relevant for you, would fit your culture, would fit your style. You might be coming up with ideas now. Chances are your team will come up with additional ideas once you kind of go through this exercise with them. So map out your content, kind of try to put it in these different silos here. Yes, there's going to be some content that kind of overlaps and crosses over. That's fine, completely fine. But if you can try to get a few pieces in each one of these silos, it's a great place to start. Even if you just have one piece, an introduction video, a testimonial video, and an offer, like that's fine. Start there, and then you can build this out as we go along. This is a process, not an event. Step number two is to get into Facebook Ads Manager. So again, we don't want to be boosting posts. We want to be going into Facebook Ads Manager, which you can get to by going to facebook.com/business. So if you're not sure if you have this set up, like most of our clients who come on board, they don't even know if they have this set up, which is fine. Sometimes like a marketing agency will set it up for you and all that. So if you can go to facebook.com/business and see your ad account and your business page, you're in good shape. If not, you might need to set that up, and Facebook will walk you through that. Want to create ads for a cold audience. When you go into Facebook, and if you want to learn more about this, you can go to facebook.com/business/learn. They have a Facebook blueprint, which is like a lot of different videos and tutorials for you. There's a bunch of different types of ad objectives here. We want to run some brand awareness campaigns to get people obviously aware of our brand. That would be the first step to cast our content out to a cold audience. We can then go in to Facebook and create a custom audience. So this is people that have already engaged with our content. We can create a custom audience of people that have visited our website, an audience of people that have engaged with our videos, an audience of people who have engaged with our Instagram or Facebook page, and we can even create an audience based on a customer list, which I'll get to in a few steps. So this is what this looks like. This is actually an example from our ads manager here at Contractor Dynamics. If you go to contractordynamics.com, you can see this in action. You go to our website, and then later today, you'll see our ads on Instagram and Facebook following you around. So that's exactly this process in action. We are serving these ads to people who have visited our website, people who have watched 3 seconds of any of our videos, people that have engaged with our Facebook, and people that have engaged with our Instagram. So if anyone's engaging with our brand whatsoever, we're ensuring, this is automated, by the way, so we're ensuring that they're going to be followed up with our content. The next step after we create that custom audience is we want to create ads to serve to those people. And again, we don't have to do this every day. This is not set it and forget it, because we need to monitor what's going on. But we set this up once, and it's a machine that constantly runs for us. So we can create lead generation ads, or we can create conversion-based ads. Lead generation ads are those ads that pop up in Facebook, like the forms right there in Facebook, where you can just enter your info. Conversion ads are when you're asking people to go to your website, to maybe your contact page, or to a landing page to submit their information. So I need to take a breather. So Tiara, you want to take over this poll real quick?
Get yourself a cup of water. We got to get you some Atlas contractors, man. But I am excited to launch this next poll. So, do you have a system to respond to all inbound leads within the 5 minutes? So, when you get a lead, a call, someone comes to your website, what is your process for responding? And can you do that quickly within 5 minutes? This is a big pain point for a lot of contractors, Joe. In terms of manpower or even figuring out which technology is best to use.
Absolutely. We've worked with hundreds of roofing companies all over the country, and the ones. So here's the thing. When your word of mouth referral, like you can kind of take your time in getting back to people, but when you're marketing and advertising to people that don't have that 1 degree of separation with you, you need to get back to them right away because they're doing their research and they're checking out other companies as well. So our clients who have the most success with advertising of any sort are the ones who have a system for getting back to people immediately.
Yeah, and the numbers definitely support that, in terms of lead times, and I know you have some data on that. But we're split down the middle on this one. 47% say they have an automated system in place, and I know Atlas has a lot of partner resources that offer things like that. And then 47% are saying, listen, at this time, we're doing it ourselves. We're answering the phone ourselves. We're calling people back ourselves. We're responding to people that are on our websites all by ourselves. So right down the middle.
Okay, cool. There's always an opportunity to respond better and to add more value. Like I said, I'm looking for a driveway seal coating company or guy or girl or whatever, and the two that I've called have not called me back yet. So it's crazy, and I'm not going to follow up with them because they don't. This is what we do. So I want to find a company that's going to respond right away.
Yeah.
So you can win a lot of business by just responding.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, one other thing, I wanted to do a quick time check. So we have the webinar slotted to go to about 11:30. I'm not sure we'll use all that time, but guys, go ahead and put in your questions. I know, Joe, this is our last poll for today, and then you're going to wrap up with a couple of additional highlights and insights for us. But go ahead and populate your questions in the chat for those that are raising your hands. Thank you for doing that. And we're looking forward to adding your question in there. One person, Andrew, says that they have an auto response through Facebook Messenger, which is by default, but they also have a full-time office manager, and she is great at responding and dealing with inbound leads. So they do it manually, and then others don't. So little feedback for you.
That's great. If you have a full-time office manager who's responding, he or she is not doing that 24/7. So I'd encourage you to add in some automation for those leads that come in at night or on the weekends to keep them warm until you can get to them. And we'll get to that in a minute. You have a few more minutes, TR, and then we can get into some questions, which I'd be excited to answer. Okay. Warning here, this might have the potential to overwhelm. This is don't worry about the different tools and whatnot. This is what we use, and this is what we train most of our clients on kind of building out. The goal would be to have something like this set up so that when a lead comes in, this is a use case. A lead comes in 11 o'clock tonight. You're not calling them back. You're not texting them back. You're not even probably getting that lead. If you're like me, my phone is off by 9 p.m. anyway. But you can have a system that gets back to that prospect immediately and automatically with a text message, with an email. Hey, Mrs. Jones, just want to let you know that we received your information and we'll be calling you promptly to schedule your appointment. By the way, go check out our website to see what some of our clients have to say about working with us. So that can be something that gets sent out automatically 24/7, 365, regardless of whether you're getting back to that person immediately or not. So this is what ideally we want to have set up. And if you have questions on specifics, I can answer them in the Q&A. But we want to have, wherever we're getting our leads, social media, our website, we want to be able to tie that in with some automated response. One of the tools that enables that is a tool called Zapier, which is a bridge that connects two pieces of software. So it could connect, like, say, Facebook ads with Job Nimbus as a CRM. I say Job Nimbus because Job Nimbus is one of the only ones currently that integrates directly with Zapier. Or it can integrate your website leads with another tool that you might be using, even if it's just sending them to your email and to your phone as a text message. So these things are, again, very, very simple and very inexpensive to set up. So you'd have leads coming in through, say, Facebook, your website, going into Zapier.com, and then getting pumped into your CRM. Depending on what type of CRM you're using, you might be able to pump your leads directly into that. In most cases, actually not. You're going to have to manually enter them. An alternative you can use, ActiveCampaign is something that we've been using for years. We train a lot of our clients on using. It's an email marketing / automation software, but it's very user friendly. I think they start at like $9 a month. It's very budget friendly as well, and this will enable you to do exactly what I just said. Have those emails and text messages going out to those prospects automatically, 24/7, 365, with just a simple setup. So you can have those text messages going out right away, those emails going out right away. Really powerful tool. You can not only have that automated response, but you can, like, drip out some emails over the next few days. The Mrs. Jones, we understand that a new roof is a big investment. Therefore, we have this blog post on our website to give you some ideas, some guidance on how to make the best decision. Or, like I mentioned, Valentine Roofing earlier, hey, we put together a blog post to show you some different options for financing your roof replacements. So you can add value. So the use case there is if someone opts in today and they schedule an appointment for, say, Saturday. Well, how cool would it be if between now and Saturday, they were getting an email every day, just adding some value, showing off some of your testimonials, showing off your team, who you are, what to expect at that appointment, things like that. Even if they're not opening those emails and reading every single one of them, which realistically not everyone's going to do, at least they're seeing you in their inbox on a daily basis. And again, it's that top of mind awareness. I can pretty much guarantee you that no other roofing company in your market is doing something like that. So just setting up this basic little system here can have a profound effect and help you differentiate and stand out, especially when people are contacting, say, 3 different companies and evaluating their options. So that would be a lead handling and follow-up system. And then we want to create ads for a hot audience. So I mentioned this before. We can go into Facebook Ads Manager and we can actually upload a list of email addresses and or phone numbers. So these can be previous clients, prospects, previous prospects. We can upload a spreadsheet of contacts into Facebook and we can serve those people ads. So what Facebook's going to do is they're going to look at our lists that we upload and they're going to cross-reference it with their user database and they're going to create what's called a hashed list. The general kind of success rate on that is 60%. So if you upload 1,000 email addresses that you might have in your CRM or your QuickBooks or on your phone or wherever, you upload 1,000, Facebook's going to cross-reference those with their user database, and you're going to get about 600 people from your email list that match Facebook user profiles. You're going to be able to serve those people ads. So that's a great way to stay in front of people without manually reaching out to them. So we have this set up, for example, when prospects and roofing companies will have a call with one of our marketing advisors and maybe they don't become a client, then we're going to put them into this list. So they're going to see some additional value from us that might help them make the smart decision of working with us. So you can do that, which is very, very cool. And then step number 8 would be to track everything. This is just a very simple Google Sheet. I love Google Sheets. Doing this type of marketing and advertising, it's almost impossible to do this well if you're not tracking what's working and what's not. So again, we want to follow best practices and hopefully everything's going to work great the first time, but the reality is that it's not. We want to be able to track where our leads are coming from, what campaigns are producing those leads, what campaigns are actually producing those appointments and those clients. If you do have an office manager, this is ideally something for that person to do. As the sales manager, marketing manager here slash owner at Contractor Dynamics, this is my job. So at the end of every day, like this sheet is always open on one of my monitors. I'm going through this and just identifying like what's working and what's not. Sometimes I slip and don't do it for a few days, but ideally we should be doing this every day. This actually links to a blank Google sheet that I can share with you guys, so I can put that in the chat when I'm done with this presentation, so you can have that if you want. And that's all we have. So
awesome.
Hope that was valuable. I know that was a lot, but I'm open to any questions that you might have.
Yeah, go ahead and put your questions in. I know one thing that we've gotten so far, Larry asked, is there a way when talking about Facebook messaging to push messages through a high priority folder or something so that it doesn't get lost in his general messages that he gets?
From Facebook messages?
Yeah.
That would be, you can set up ManyChat is one of the tools, ManyChat.com. ManyChat is something where you can have a little bit of automation, a little bit of like canned responses. And then, so you might want to check that out. And then Zapier, that tool I mentioned before, Zapier.com, will integrate with Facebook messages, and you can get them sent to wherever you want. Like you get them sent to a text message on your phone. You might, I don't know if there's a tool per se, Larry, that will decipher whether it's like a legit like inquiry versus like some spam. That might be like a tool like I think one of the Atlas partners has a tool that incorporates some artificial intelligence to determine that.
Yeah, we have PSAI, Larry, is one of our key partners that actually can help funnel and automatically, they have a bot called Gina who will automatically respond with the intention of scheduling an actual appointment for you. And you can use Gina on your website, you can use Gina through your Facebook chat, you can use Gina through your text response. You can put a phone number in there that's automatically tracked. So lots of options. I actually, a lot of the tools that Joe talked about when he talks about marketing, automating your system, getting a process for your funnel for your leads when they come in and being able to respond to those things quickly. If you're on this call and you've taken a couple takeaways, my challenge to you, Joe mentioned homework earlier. Do some homework to actually realize what tools are available and out there for you. Atlas has a ton of tools that, speak directly to customized content opportunities, embedding content that is resourceful on your website that you can share on social media, tips for creating videos, but also like resources like a PSAI or, like a Job Nimbus, making sure that you have a CRM in place to help you funnel these leads and capture everything so that you can identify cold from warm from hot. And so all really good feedback. And, I know a lot of you guys are already utilizing Facebook in that manner to leverage leads. So be sure that you incorporate that into your funnel to not just get a lead, but any type of lead that comes into your website that you're capturing that as well. So all really good feedback, Joe. We have any other questions? Copies of the today's webinar will certainly be emailed out. Got a lot of questions asking for the content, so we'll certainly send that out. But you can also check out asphaltlife.com. I'll put that in the chat. And I know, Joe, you had a couple links that you wanted to share as well. Joe? I think he froze up. But yeah, I just put in the chat the link to the Asphalt Life portal so that you can definitely utilize that and be able to leverage that in your tools. And then How do you filter fake leads is a good question. I think one of the best ways to filter fake leads, um, oh, all good. No problem. So Joe's just gonna restart his computer screen and get back on. So Erica asked a great question about filtering fake leads. One of the best ways, obviously, is by doing a little bit of research before when you call them. Also, there are multiple types of lead processing systems where you can get a pre-scheduled lead that comes in and actually gives you they guarantee that they give you a quality lead. So we have a partner with Modernize. Um, and a lot of these questions are really great, but Modernize is a tool that Atlas uses for lead gen, and they actually give you qualified leads that they guarantee are qualified. And so, a really great resource again to look into, all within the Atlas Pro portal, which I'll put that in the chat so that you guys can check that out. But make sure that you're getting the information that you need. I would say even set up a call with your Atlas Pro um, salesperson so that they can take you through the Atlas portal. Set up a call with me, set up a call to get additional insight on what you need. And we'll be happy to vet that and give you a list of resources that can help exactly what Joe is referencing here on the screen. So super excited to have you guys with these questions. A couple other questions real quick before we get off. Joe, you got getting some shout outs. I know you can hear me, but you can't see right now. One of the things Erica says is that we pay for Yelp services and usually get a lot of fake leads. How do you filter through them? Yep. So same thing. You can actually get quality leads from a lead gen service, Erica. So look into that. Contact your Atlas sales rep. Reach out to me. Or Joe so that we can follow up with you and help you get some additional options. Obviously, Yelp being a free funnel for you, you actually are able to get a bulk of leads from them, and they're not always real leads. So definitely there's other resources and options out there to utilize. All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps up today's Atlas Pro webinar. And I hate that Joe, I know you can hear me, Joe. No, still, yep. All good. Well, anyway, sorry about the technical issues, but super glad that you guys were able to jump on today. And until Joe, you're back. Can you hear us? No? All good. I do want to put up really quickly Joe's contact information for anyone that's out there and you're wondering how to get in touch with him. I'm going to put in the chat Joe Hughes's email address so that you guys can have it and contact him for any additional questions. Joe does this all day, guys. He spends his time making sure that people have information that they need. And we would love to have you reach out to him. I just put his email in the chat. And then I know, Joe, you're back.
I am. I'm really sorry about that. My computer decided to restart. I don't know why.
All good, all good. But can you pop up the screen with your contact information? I just want everybody to be able to see that. And then also we have a partner page with a special offer. Do you want to talk about that real quick? I'll pop the link in the chat.
Yes. Am I presenter?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. Show my screen. Yes. All right, just one second.
Or I
Were there
can show
any questions that needed any clarification?
I went through all the questions.
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
yep, let me just present the screen and share. Oh, now your screen is up, Joe.
Oh, okay. Oh, now
I,
you see my desktop. Okay.
I know everyone's on
You went,
Zoom and GoToMeeting, so it's only a billion people on the same platform.
yeah. All right, here we go. This is the contact information. my screen now. It's going to go into present in a second.
Yep. We can see your screen, and I see that you've added the promo landing page to go ahead and set up a strategy consultation with you, as well as have, take an inside look at different testimonials as well that are available in there. So that's awesome. And I also
if you go to
shared that in
contract,
the chat.
I appreciate that. Yeah, if you go to contractordynamics.com/Atlas, there's if you want to set up a time to talk with me or one of my team, then we can help you, guide you through this, give you some insights. If you want to learn more about how we can train you on how to guide you and your team on building this out, then we'll be happy to do that as well. So, but
Awesome.
If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out via email and that link.
Yeah. So Atlas community, thank you so much for joining today. 2 things for homework. Post your video, tag Contractor Dynamics, tag us at Atlas Roofing, tag me at Tiara Cersei. Second thing of homework, contact your Atlas sales rep today and say, hey, I watched this webinar. I'm really intrigued. I want to get in touch with Joe. I want to have a follow-up session with Tiara. And let's get you started with some strategic strategy to capture all leads at all parts of your funnel. Until then, guys, have a great day and live and play together. Bye. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.